problems now with Pua bearing down on the left-hand side. Hana actually heads in across his goal. And that's a defensive error that leads to Fukashiro. He's trying to cut it in. Brilliant goal.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of SPL Social, the show just about the Singapore Premier League. And today we are on to episode 5, all about Albirex, Niigata, Singapore. You all can see we've got two very special guests joining us today. But before I introduce them, I want to also remind you all to follow the SPL here. Leave your comments below. Let us know what you all want to see in the league and which players. And also thank you very much to the Dutch Colony in Tampines Hub for allowing us to use their wonderful space today. We've got coffee, you've got everything here. So don't forget to, of course, come down here and try some of their stuff right here in OTH. Alright guys, let's get down to business. Today we are joined by two guests. We've got Riku Fukashiro from Albirex Niigata, as well as the assistant coach Jaswinder Singh. Thank you very much, both of you, for joining me. Arigato. So Riku, firstly for you, how is your first season at Albirex so far? What are you enjoying about it?
まだ6試合しか終わってないんですけど、ここまでチームとしていい面も悪い面も、両方出てるんで、この先まだシーズンは続くんで、もっとより良いものにしていきたいと思います。
Speaking of going in the right direction, I'm sure Jas will have a lot to say about that. As assistant coach, this season, just want to remind you guys that we are going to be inviting a lot more coaches and a lot of other personalities in the club. So Jas, can you explain? I believe you're assistant coach. What's your day-to-day role at Albirex?
So my role day-to-day is basically to assist the Japanese head coach in what he needs for setup, for player management. Specifically, I'm working with the local players. They are part of it, so they get integrated more towards the Japanese players as well. And then it's also closing up the gap between the talent, between the Japanese players and our local players in Singapore. So it's a lot of management day to day.
So Jess, can you also explain to the people out there, what's the ratio of local and foreign players at Albirex at the moment?
I believe we have 7 to 8 local players that are currently with our top team. Yeah, we have Hassan joining us this year as well, so I think that has increased the number 8 or 9, maybe around there. Yeah, but it's an even split. I think now with Hassan as an older player, he's also bringing in more of a transition towards a local group of players. Yeah.
Okay, that's really interesting, to know that, about the day-to-day involvement in the club. I'm going to, pick your brains a little bit more about that. Riku, for yourself, what led you to join Albirex? What's your journey like, for you to come here now and finally arrive in Singapore?
大学卒業の時にチームを探していて、で日本でアルビレックスのスカウトの人が声をかけていただいたので、ぜひこのチームでタイトルを取りたいと思って加入しました。
So, what's the sort of the feedback from the people back home, your family? What do they think about you coming here for this experience?
喜んでくれて、日本じゃない違うサッカーの文化でどれだけやれるか楽しみにしてるみたいに言われました。
Oh, that's good to know. I hope that they continue to support you and maybe come and watch your games this season. It's still a long season ahead. So just for yourself, I know, before this you were also working within the fitness space as well for the players, right? So I want to ask you, in terms of the load and everything, how do you motivate the players when they're going through such a long season,
So I guess it's a lot of management in the terms of the amount of work they're doing day to day. So start of the week, maybe it's a bit lower, and then as the week progresses, it gets a bit higher, and as you get closer towards the game, it starts coming back down, so they get fresher for the game. In terms of day to day, it's a lot of injury management. Some of them are sore, some of them have niggling little injuries, that recurring stuff, So it's a lot of that management. So you work with the medical side, and we figure it out day by day.
So definitely, I think part of the day-to-day is also making friends in football. Football is all about friendships, and that brings me to my next question. Riku, everyone wants to know who's your best friend, your favorite local player in the team right now.
ニッキーです。なんでか、ニッキーは同じポジションっていうのもあって、意識もしますし、 技術も高いんでお手本にもなる選手です。
Okay, so what do you like about Nikki? Why is he your best friend, your good friend in the team?
あんまその言葉は交わせないんですけど、なんか単語単語で分かる言葉でコミュニケーション取れてるのでいい関係だと思います。
Yeah, funny is the word I always hear around him. Okay, Riku also as a player, and now this season you're coming in, and we have actually VAR for the very first time in the Singapore Premier League this season. So, what do you think of the VAR decisions, in the league, and do you agree with what has happened?
正直 VAR でラッキーだった部分もあるし、これからまだチームに悪影響を与えているわけではないんですけど、時間が止まったりするのがちょっと難しいところはあります。
Yeah, I think interruptions is something that I keep hearing about VAR, that it's interrupting the game, making the game a bit longer, but maybe we need some time to get seasoned to it. But speaking of season, just Albirex, defending champions, they've got a winning history in the SPL, been very, very successful to be honest since their inauguration. So I've got to ask you, you've been here at the club, what do you think separates Albirex from the rest of the local teams?
I think it's a cultural thing. Like most of the Japanese players that come on board, and even our local boys, they are younger boys. So this is like their first steps into professional football. So they're very driven to make a career out of this. And especially like some of the Japanese players that I've talked to over the years, this is not the end goal. They have dreams of going to Europe, they have dreams of going back to J1, J2. What happens after this, that's on their own, and so they take the entire year to keep pushing themselves to new barriers or to new levels so that they can eventually go out there and find a better opportunity.
I think I have to say that as well. I think the Japanese culture is what we hear week in and week out. It's just, I guess, their dedication to wanting to really win, despite, I guess, the challenges that they face. And speaking of that, Riku, I want to ask, what do you think about the SPL? What do you think of the standard of football here compared to Japan? And also who has been the tough opponents?
シンガポールのレベルは球際に結構がっつり来るので、そこをうまくかわさないと取られるあれがあるので、そこでの技術を生かすっていう面では結構楽しいリーグだとは思います。で、一番手強い勝ったチームは今のところは単品ですね。
Wow, so you say Tampines, and Tampines are of course leading the table at the moment, and they look very strong, I have to admit. And also because down to the players that they have. And speaking of players, Jas, I want to ask you, I guess you've worked with many Albirex players through the years, and we've seen some very, very good players come through the ranks. So I've got to ask you, who are some of the best Albirex players you've worked with and had the best relationships with, and why?
So I've been here now for 4 seasons. It's my 4th year now. I think every year there's 1 or 2 personalities that keep in touch with me till today. For example, I think in 2020 there's Roya and my beard bro, Ryo Sakuma. Last year there was Kodai and Kodai and Masaya actually. And this year we're still finding who that closest player is so far. So far everyone's the same.
Yeah, and I think Kodai as well has been very iconic for you guys, and it's also nice to see him at LCS at the moment. What has really stood out to you about these characters? Is it their tenacity,
Well, these players are actually always pushing themselves to further improve themselves. So, and they not only players that are working on themselves, they're working on the team as well. So they're trying to improve the group. So they are always talking with local players, they're always talking with the staff, they're always talking with everybody that they can possibly can. And that's probably how they improve themselves, and then they improve the team as well.
And that's important, isn't it, to improve, and I think that's something that I'm learning as well every day. Okay, Riku, this is a very classic SPL social question. Finally, we are here, guys. I know you're all waiting for this. Okay, have you tried any Singapore local food, and which one is your favorite?
Chicken rice です。
Okay, he mentioned chicken rice, but I want you guys to leave in the comments below some food suggestions for Riku so he can try it, because chicken rice was so last year, guys. We need to, change it up a little bit, guys, this season. So get involved so we can bring Riku out to eat some food, okay? Alright, Jas, I want to ask you, we've had Coach Yoshinaga here and he's a very respected figure, well-respected figure in Singapore football and also SPL around. What do you like about his style, his philosophy,
So, his philosophy is a lot of keeping the ball, a lot of winning the ball high up on the field. And his philosophy is, I think, very, very modern today. And it's very attacking minded. So, but what I like working with him about is, it's not just about his teams. He's thinking about a bigger picture whereby he's looking to improve Singapore football as a whole. And I think that is something we should all be looking at. So using his influence on the team and with the locals and the coaching staff and everyone, he's trying to get everyone to do a little bit more so that we all can, I guess, progress as a country.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Okay, Riku, we've got some questions from fans, and one of them is actually, what is your goal for this season? Apart from, of course, wanting to win the SPL, but maybe you can share with me.
チームとしてはリーグ戦の優勝とカップ戦の優勝で個人的には得点王を狙っています。
He wants to be top scorer. He's already had 2 assists and 2 goals, so the season is long way to go. We'll check in with you at the end of the season, okay, guys? Okay, you already told us who your best friend is in Albirex. So from Kaido Kid, who is your favorite football idol? Who's your favorite player?
普通にサッカー選手ですか。今現役だとネイマールで引退した選手だとロナウジーニョが好きです。
So of course Neymar and Ronaldinho, very iconic players in Brazilian football. Okay, GZ10 wants to know, why did you choose number 9? Why number 9?
高校の時に最初につけた番号が9番だったんで、9番が空いてたのでつけさせてもらいました。
Also the very iconic Ronaldo's number, not Cristiano but the Brazilian Ronaldo. So I think there's a whole Brazilian thing going on. Okay, 1H1015, nice username. Okay, what is your tip and tricks when it comes to controlling and dribbling the ball?
いやなんかもうただひたすらにボールを触り続けることと、もう遊びでも何でもいいから本当に触ることを意識してずっとやってます。
So always practice, guys. Practice makes perfect. Okay, I want to ask as well, from the same person, have you watched Blue Lock, which is a very popular Japanese show? And if yes, who is his favorite character? Blue Lock?
ありません。
But have you heard of it? Have you heard of Blue Lock? You heard of it? Like, you know what is that? So guys, not all Japanese players watch Blue Lock, but it was a very popular show during the World Cup recently. Okay, lastly, from Nick, he wants to know, do you have any ambitions for Asian football? Like, do you want to play for the national team one day?
サッカーやってるからにはやっぱりもちろん国の代表にはなりたいとは思っています。そのためにやれることを一つずつやっていきたいとも思っています。
Oh, okay. We'll see, definitely see how you do this season. And, before we go, Jas, I want to ask you, we are talking about the future of Singapore football now, what role do you think Albirex plays in it, and what do you hope to see in the seasons to come?
Well, I think Albrex's role over the last 20 years now has been contributing in a sense of competition in the league. So a proper Asian competition in the league, higher level actually. And I think over the years, ever since we started incorporating local players, it's giving them a chance to experience what it's like to go overseas. So there's the translations, there's understanding different tactics, there's understanding a whole different way of playing football, And I think that's starting to pass on because we see the number of players that have come through Albirex that are now playing at different local clubs, even the Japanese players as well. So I think that's contributing in the sense of it's raising the level of Singapore football. So I think eventually it'll pass on to the national team.
That's great stuff. I mean, I definitely hope to see more players, making it from Albirex perhaps because of the philosophy that you guys have. I think it's important to develop our national team. Okay, before we go, I just want to get a message, from you to all the fans out there. who watch the SPL and who support Albirex, to all the Albirex fans. Can we get a message?
毎試合熱い応援をありがとうございます。これからまだシーズンは続くんですけど、結果と内容にこだわって、タイトルを取れるように頑張りますので応援よろしくお願いします。
Alright, that's really great to know, and of course I think the fans are very important in the SPL as much as I really believe that you guys should come down to the stadium and watch the games. It's a lot of fun, and you guys can watch Albirex, play their football this season. They are really, really good. I have to add, this season I think much better than the last few years, and they were already very good, so that's what I mean. Anyway, thank you very much Jas and Riku for joining me. All the best for the rest of the season, and of course for more the SPL, do follow us. And also, stay tuned for more because we've got a lot coming up in the rest of the season, and leave your comments below as well. I'm Jaswinder from Footballita, and I'll see you guys soon.